Okay, time to take this guy apart. While I'm doing so, I'd like to thank all you guys for watching my current build, or assembly of this. I know that lately I have not been building a lot of Gundam kits, but hopefully I'm going to get back in stride with a couple of other kits that I have in the wings. Some smaller items, smaller kits, and my project with the Bandai Open, which I was trying to find out if there was any restrictions for dioramas, because that was my intention of doing a diorama build. I haven't heard nothing yet, or have seen no news about it. We'll figure it out soon enough. I'll do what I can. Come on, get out. This thing's hard. Come on. There we go. And I have a lot more clips now, so I don't have to worry about using toothpicks, but definitely have to use toothpicks on certain things like, well, maybe this, but if I do this, it'll work. This one will work as well. Whoa! Okay. Maybe not. I think I'll use a toothpick. No, actually, you know what? No, this is not a toothpick. This will be the reversible tape. Certain reversible tape is great to use it on parts like that, because you're not going to paint the under end. Others, and you don't have to worry about it. Like, see what happened there, flying all over the place. Let's see here. And then some parts I'm going to put together like so, because it's easier for me to work with, to paint, instead of like me painting one end and the other, and then I'm trying to figure out if it matches both sides. This one's okay. We'll use that like that. And I think I'm going to use a toothpick with this one, because there's that slit there, so I can actually use that. So I'll put that to the side there. Now, somebody mentioned me about the fact that there is no thrusters here. It's actually in the original manga, which of course I didn't read, and who reads mangas? Unless it's a video, or an anime or an OVA. Oh, I forgot about this. Yeah. To tell you in all honesty, I'm gonna see if I have some leftover parts, and I'm probably end up putting the if not 3, maybe 2 thrusters, depending on the size, depending on what I can do with it. So I don't have to worry about that. There we go. Then I can always use the other end. Alright. This is a toothpick. This, I can use this. There we go. Now this one, I'm going to have to take apart, because, come on, because of this. Now what I can do, maybe I can actually cut these off, but then I will have to glue them on, and I don't know how well it'll go in. And since this is all a seam, the seam line, this part separation is part of the integrated to the panel lining of the shoulder. I don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna still glue put them together, because I'm gonna paint them together. Actually, to tell you the truth, I can remove this. Have that like that, so it's no big deal. It's not going to damage the part. However, I am kind of wondering about that. Well, once it's pushed all the way in, you probably won't even see it. Or maybe I should... Hold on, I gotta see the angle here. You know what? I think I am gonna cut that off. Clearly this one's gonna come out, that's easy. But I am gonna cut that off, cut these two off, and then when I'll put them on, I'll glue them on. Yeah, alright, so I'll glue this on later on. Let me just put this to the side. Oh, but I can't, because then if I do that, then I have this, and if I put the parts on, alright, forget about that. You see, these are things that I have to talk out loud. I know somebody's going to tell me, no, do this, this should work. Right, Zach? But, I'm not going to do that. This one is, you know, I can't put, yeah, I don't want to, yeah, this is going to be difficult for me to paint separate, so I'm going to keep it like that. Also, I'd like to say I hope everyone had a great and safe Memorial Day weekend. I hope you guys spent a great, great quality time with your families and friends and loved ones and all that stuff. So I hope everyone was safe and sound. I know this weekend was pretty hectic for many aspects, but I'll make sure that you guys are all okay. This off. Come on. Come on. Dig in there. There we go. Alright, it's going to take me some time to start taking all these apart, so let me do that first. It's all been sanded. There's nothing here that I forgot to sand, but I will review the parts, each and every one of them again. And then I'm going to clear the table and begin the priming process, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so I just finished putting all these parts on my alligator clips, getting ready for painting. And I didn't show this off before, but I started to review the photo etch parts that I wanted to put the vents on the ends of the, of these. And it turns out that the vents I have are either too big, too wide, and the ones that I do have small enough to fit that won't work. As a matter of fact, this is the ones I was referring to, these little vents. I've seen these vents used in the master grade Sazabi version Katoki. In the back area where the funnel parts are, and I thought maybe I can put it someplace else here other than that, but it doesn't work. If the vents look like these that you see right here, that will work. Unfortunately, these are too wide, and I wish I had smaller versions of this. So I decided to look around a bit further to see if there's certain parts that needed either the circle vents, and unfortunately I don't see anything. That will allow me to do that. I could easily make holes, but I just went through an entire month doing that with my Penelope, so I'm not doing it this time. I'll put photo etch parts on another kit in the future. For this one, it will be the way it is, as you can see here. I have been looking into getting one of those little rivet type photo etch parts, but the ones that I want are very hard to get. And hopefully, I did pre-order one that I hope I'll get it in a few months, once everything's calmed down, but it'll have to wait for another kit, of course. I put some smaller parts here that I'm going to need to paint separate. So I have the grays, reds, blues, whites in the toothpick, and the yellow. Alright, let me begin priming. Okay, so we're going to begin painting the parts. We begin with the darker tone part before we go into the lighter ones. This will be just quick so you guys can see this. I'm going to be using Titan's Glue 1, which I've always did like this paint. Let's see how this looks. Well, let me just make sure that the mixture is good here. Good. There we go. That's nice. Cover every part of it, because I know this is the back skirt. Lately, this paint has been my go-to for darker tone charcoal. I was actually thinking of using another type of charcoal, which is basically German gray would be a good choice. Part of the leg. Speaking of the leg, there we go. I'm going to paint the whole thing because I didn't review what it looks like in particular, like in specific areas. I know the joints are going to be the one that's going to be required the most painting. And then of course, later on I'm going to bend the knee, you could say, so that way I can paint the inside of the joints. Dry, and I'll get to it in a minute. Wifey. Alright. There's a lot of sections here that you can mask off for part separations, painting in specific areas. I have some ideas. Hopefully I can figure it out for you guys to see this. I'm going to retouch this up later on. Let's get a few things here. Don't want to bore you guys with this. I know this is something you've probably seen a billion times. But just a little bit here and there. Plus I need to map out where I'm going to be masking the parts, so it's better to get this base coat taken care of first before I move on to masking and painting the extra layer of color for this kit. Let me just do the back panel also. I would like to use metallics on this, but on specific areas we don't need the entire kit to be metallic, just certain areas that will benefit from it. So certain areas like the vents and circle thingies, you could say, will probably be allowable. Alright, there we go. Alright, let me continue on with the remaining parts, and then we'll move on to the next color to paint. So give me a moment while I take care of this. Alright, so the next paint we're going to work on is going to be the purple, number 67. I have to say this is my first time using purple, so see how it comes out. Mix. Yep. All right. There we go. Good shine. Very good. Alright, let's do the shoulder here. Trying to make sure that I don't oversaturate it. I do want to matte coat it a bit, maybe semi-gloss it. So I want to make sure I get the nooks and crannies, you could say. But there's that weird white part there that's going to be driving me nuts. Let me see if I can try to do it very light. Yeah, that came out good. Let's do it here. Good. Good. And I think that's good. I don't know if you guys can see it, but my camera show. I mean, I could see it purple, but maybe the lighting here is not that good. I don't know if you could see it perfectly. I'll have to review it later on. You know, when I post this. All right, so the body. I'm digging the purple. Very nice. Let's get this part, chest part. But I'm going to paint it purple, but I'm going to mask it off because I don't want to keep it all the same color. I just wanted to do some color separations. That looks good. That looks good. Alright. So far, I like this color. I will continue on. Just only a few more parts of the blue. And then we'll move on to the next part and paint the next color. Alright, so the next color is going to be the 114 RML red. I've already painted the other colors using 81 Russet, but there were only three parts, so I didn't decide to show off a video of that. So let me just do this one first. It almost has like an orangey red tone. Looks good. And of course when it dries, I'm going to mask off those areas that I mentioned before so I can give it another color. Most likely I may do Titan Blue 1 again. I don't know if I'm going to redo that again. Maybe I'll do some other tone color. But we'll figure that out soon enough. Also, just make sure that looks good. Also, the red parts that are inside the wing, inside these parts, the little connectors. Don't know if I'm going to paint that red. I may decide to paint it a different color. So that's another possibility that I'm going to look into. But let me just review this. Let me just deal with this first, because I think the one part that I'm going to be working on the most will be the white parts, which will be coming up in a moment. But this one's coming out pretty nice. Beautiful morning today to work, to start painting.